Blake Rowan! That's more like it. Blake's brought some kettle chips.
Would you like some?
I'm okay. It's always a danger to. I try not to eat too close before doing panels as well. Just a top tip for just top tip. Gets a bit windy.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. A bit windy.
I love you.
A bit windy. Well, this is the start. My panels are quite chaotic, so this is the start of the panel. We are talking about wind. So I know I can get away with it with you guys, so I hope I can. Okay, so Hazbin Hotel. Usually when I speak to actors, I speak to so many actors, and I, ask, did you have an idea it was gonna be this big? And usually go, no, I didn't actually. No, I had no idea. It's wonderful. But I know, Joelle, I watched an interview with you recently, and you were saying you had a bit of an idea because you were a fan of Hell of a Boss, right?
Yeah, I mean, I stumbled upon the Hazbin pilot in 2020 during like peak pandemic. And so I remember being like, this show's incredible, it has so many views. I was just a fan. Then I started watching Hell of a Boss, and so I had an inkling that it was gonna be pretty huge. Or at least I knew that people were going to watch at least the first episode. And then before the show came out on Prime, I was, Viv had invited me over to her place, and I watched the whole season before it came out. And when I watched that whole first season, I was like, this is gonna be huge. This show's gonna be incredible. Yeah.
So what is that like then, knowing, having that idea? Does that make it a little bit more nerve-wracking? And did you guys, did you feel the same way, or did you just have no idea?
You saw it before, right?
Yeah, I saw it, like it came out in January. I saw it probably in like April. I saw all 8 episodes. And at that point, I was like, I don't know how big this is gonna be. I don't know who else is gonna come to the show, but I knew that the people who had seen the pilot were going to be very happy with the 8 episodes. Like I knew that much. So that was like a huge load off, because I was definitely like, oh, if they hate it, that's really, really bad, because that's a lot of people to hate something. But no, I was, after I saw it, I was like, oh, they're gonna go crazy.
I love how it had this sort of inbuilt community around it, and what I love about what Viv's done is built this community around very kind of honest writing. It's fun, like Viv kind of knows the audience, and a lot of my friends who are actors, they often get looked over for big celebrities, taking parts in video games and animation, but she's trusting in just who she really wants for the character. How much were you allowed to, really make it your own, like Blake?
Yeah, the funny thing is when I auditioned for the show, I had never seen it, I hadn't heard of it. So the voice that I did for Angel Dust was the voice that I made for Angel Dust. It just so happened to be exactly what they were looking for in terms of, the Prime cast. So it was just, it was very serendipitous, because I remember getting the job and being like, oh, fuck yeah, this is my first VO job, and I'm really excited. I wonder who else is gonna be a part of this. And the first time the cast list came out, and I looked at that and I saw everybody with, had either many Broadway credits or movie credits or TV credits and everything, and I was just sitting there ooh woo, I just graduated college, and I just remember I felt, because there were no preconceived notions on my end for what I needed to be. I mean, before I auditioned for it and tried to put my stamp on this character, I hadn't seen any material that came before, so I really did feel like I just had free reign to do it. And when I got cast off the audition, I'm like, okay, cool. Whatever I did then, I can stay to that, and I don't need to copy anything. I don't need to, try to meet people's expectations. I can meet my own and trust that it's going to be good.
As actors, I meet some actors that go, yes, I was channeling it from my childhood, and they're very much about process, darling, and like, oh yes, my childhood trauma really came out in this role. I don't know who this is that's coming out with me right now.
Let's
Like
take
Olivier,
it.
sorry, Laurence Olivier? Is that what's coming out?
But like, I know for you guys, and I've interviewed Richard many times, and also Brandon as well, and Viv.
Sorry.
Yeah, I love them together as well. Oh my God, chaos,
It's chaos.
complete
It's so
chaos.
good.
But it's about play, and I think that's what comes across in the character. You guys feel that as well? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yes, we really feel that. Amir,
I ate way too much turkey. It's 7 p.m. on a Friday. Yes, keep it moving.
Please.
moderator lady.
It's a very windy audience. Very windy. Amir, you said that you don't, because of your improv background, you don't do all the usual prep that's thought of. I don't know, is it for an actor? Is that true?
I mean, yeah, I don't do a ton of like backstory work. I don't know that that's necessarily just because of my improv background. I don't go into it thinking like, oh, I'm gonna improvise a lot, but it's just that I have faith that it's gonna be there without me doing all of that work, and I find that a lot of times that stuff just sort of weighs you down more than sort of feeds you. And so for me, I just like getting into the booth and like you said, playing, doing different things, and letting Richard and Vivian pull me in different directions if they need to, and trusting that they're gonna get what they need without me going like, oh, Alistair's relationship with his mother is what leads him to talk to Lucifer in this way, right? Like I just don't find that useful for me.
Yes, that's
We
fair.
also don't have a lot of that
Yes.
backstory information. What we get is the script like a day
Yeah,
before.
that's the other thing. Yeah, we have like a day, but I mean like a lot of people like make stuff up because they need it, but like I don't want it.
like non-canonical stuff. Just
Exactly.
like for you as a
Exactly. Yeah. Like what was Alistair's favorite ice cream? Like I don't need it.
What would Alistair's favorite ice cream?
No, truly, I'm like, what is
Yeah,
it?
we're like, what?
I don't care.
What's Amir's favorite ice cream?
Who
Strawberry.
cares? Strawberry.
Strawberry or some of that weird stuff at Salt and Straw, like they have like a Thanksgiving dinner ice cream, which is like cranberry and then like marshmallows and then turkey brittle.
What?
Do you hate yourself?
It is
Honestly, that sounds delicious.
It's
That sounds really good.
fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Go to Salt and Straw.
America's
yourself-
weird, man. America's weird. It is a weird place. I love it, but it's a weird old place. I wanted to ask about, this Hazbin is just held in people's hearts so dearly. It's content that people have spent a lot of time with, these characters and this show. But what content or what cartoons did you grow up watching that really meant a lot to you that you absolutely loved? For me, it was Thundercats. 1000%. Oh my
hell
God.
yeah.
I really love Tiger. Oh my God, in a weird way. I was like, yes. He was an architect, you guys. He was smart. So what about you guys?
I think it's very appropriate on this Bros weekend that I share.
Bros
that,
weekend.
My favorite was G.I. Joe. Now you know.
How masculine.
Now you know. And now
That's half the battle.
Boom.
G.I. Joe.
Okay, G.I. Joe.
I was obsessed with Pokemon as a kid. The original Ash Ketchum. I mean, look, I'm wearing Pikachu right now. I also had a Game Boy, and just like I lost myself in those characters for so long.
Love. Okay, what about you, Blake?
I was a hoe for SpongeBob. Like,
Not a hoe for
Sentences
I
I've
was.
never heard before.
Not a hoe hoe for
I watched
SpongeBob.
so much SpongeBob, man. To the point where my parents were worried. They were like, dude, this is funny, but it's weird. But I mean, you know, flash forward, you know, we were in Minneapolis doing a convention, and like Tom Kenny's like, hey, you guys should come see my band play at Mall of America. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's fine. Literally, I loved SpongeBob, but also one that is just near and dear to my heart. Another one that Tom Kenny's in, of course, is Adventure Time. That one is just that is everything to me. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but will you please say I was a hoe for SpongeBob as Angel Dust?
Oh my god. I'm such a hoe for SpongeBob. Oh, SpongeBob.
Alright, we're good.
I can keep going.
Just something to haunt your dreams, wind and sexy SpongeBob.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Thank you.
This is the content you're here for, yes. I was wearing my tie-dye SpongeBob t-shirt in the gym this morning.
Oh my god. Hey,
Dude.
congrats on going to the gym.
Yeah. Like, I do it when I'm away, and then when I go home, I become a complete potato. Like, you know, I did really well for like 2 days, you guys. And then there's like months of just me being SpongeBob, actual SpongeBob. Actual real-life humanoid SpongeBob here, right here. I wanted to... humanoid SpongeBob. Never said those two words together. Joel, you said, I was watching an interview where you said that when you're on stage, like doing theatre, when you've done theatre, you sort of disassociate and you kind of, it's like being in another world. Have you ever felt like that in the booth as well, or is it completely different when you're in front of a live audience?
Ooh, I mean, it's such when you're on stage, you're doing a play, you get to sort of, you do this collective imagination exercise for, I don't know, 2 hours, however long the show is. Hopefully 90 minutes, yeah. 90 minutes, no intermission, that's the best part. And as an actor, you're sort of like, you're sort of immersed in that world for that time, and then you go home, and then you like let it go. But with voiceover work, it's such a very like, it's such a intensely focused, just very condensed kind of process where you just have to jump in and go for it and try a bunch of different takes. Be pretty. It's hard with the. I agree with Amir in terms of like the prep work for voiceover, because you just kind of have to give the creators options. You just gotta go 100% in this direction, okay? And I'll try this direction and be completely opposite. It's hard to be like, well, my character wouldn't say it this way, or my character wouldn't. It's just like, just do it, give them options, and then you let it go and go home. And so it does sometimes feel like, there are times when we finish a session where I'm like, I feel like I was just in a weird fugue state for like 40 minutes, and then I'm done, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And then you listen back. And then what's crazy is that the show doesn't come out for another like 2 years. So then you're like, all right, I did say all those horrible things. I don't remember saying that. Yeah.
Was there a moment when, this is a question for all of you, when you're looking at that script, you know, in the booth and going, oh my God, I have to say this? Because there's so many corkers, there's so many amazing out there lines where you're like, what? Like, Blake.
What do you mean?
Of course.
No, it's great. I mean, yes, it's hilarious reading through the script and being like, oh wow, I get to do this, I get to say this crazy thing, and that's fun. But at the same time, I kind of have to lock into a space where, you know how when something is a funny line, and you treat it like it's a funny line as the actor, it becomes unfunny because it's you dictating to the audience how they should feel. Like, hey, haha, this is a funny line, laugh. There's a lot of like Angel's lines that are funny because they're just honestly coming from him and his situation. And so I have to kind of remind myself, I'm like, yeah, I'm saying some bullshit here. Like, I'm saying some wacky things. But at the same time, like, let me try to do that as earnestly and honestly as possible, you know, within the context of his character. That's not to say there aren't lines that are just like, you know, but...
Ever been tempted in real life if someone's pissed you off or something's happened to just spit out one of those lines?
No. But could you imagine? It's like, oh no, you're awakening angel dust in me. I'm getting so mad. Also, I just feel like if I got mad at somebody and I used the angel dust voice on them, instantaneously they'd be like, okay.
The confusion would possibly be scarier, like, okay, Blake's eating something funny,
Yeah.
and he needs to go to bed. Like, it's absolutely fine. What about you, Amir? Have you ever looked at the script and gone, oh my god, that's amazing?
God, like, yes, there are. There's actually in season 2, there was a few where I read and I went, oh, they're gonna eat that up. Like what? Like what, Amir? Yeah, but yes. Yes, the answer is yes.
Yes. Okay, let's play this game. We have whiteboards here. We're gonna play a game. And Joelle, do you have one as well? Yes, you've all got one. And we have markers. Okay, so here's how it works, you guys. So we've got it's just the cast quiz. I'm going to ask. Are you missing a marker?
There's a marker.
Uh-oh.
Does anyone see a third marker?
Are you sitting on a marker? Do we have a third marker somewhere? Bonnie's got one. Round of applause for Bonnie. What a hero. Thank you, Bonnie. Thanks, mate. Cheers. That sounds really... Thanks, mate. Cheers. Oh my god, I became British for a second again. Okay. And didn't even sound Scottish, it was more English. That's even worse. Look, it's an age-old feud, okay? So, we've got 3 whiteboards and 3 wonderful actors. Round of applause. I am going to ask you a question. Don't even think about it. Write down your answer. Don't let them see, okay? And then we'll reveal. Question number 1. Who is the best singer?
Oh, okay, I see what's happening.
Yes, here. Yes. Uh-oh. I mean, it didn't have to be here, but I've made it that. Oh, okay, Blake, sorry. Okay, we've got Blake's just... Okay. Ooh. Okay. Are ready to reveal? Okay, actually, before we reveal, what about you guys? Shout out who you think's the best singer. Just shout it out. You're very polite. How mean are you gonna be? Sorry, I'm going to go there. Okay, let's reveal. 3, 2, 1. Love that. Joelle, sorry, Amir, you got no votes.
Aw, that's sweet.
Good for you.
Love that. Okay, rub it out. As in, sorry, erase it. No. Genuinely, in the UK, we call erasers rubbers. We do, and we say things like, rub out your work. So I'm sorry, I'm in America, I must remember. Okay, next question. Who is the most talkative? Go for it. Okay, right. Let's see. Oh, I love that. Okay, you ready to reveal? Who do you think is going to win here? Thanks. 3, 2, 1.
Blakey Buddha.
Blake, baby.
Okay. The next question is, who is the most likely to win a talent show? He's like, who's the most talented? Like, I didn't make up these questions, it was FanExpo, okay? These ones are FanExpo. Okay, guys, who would win a talent show? Okay, are you ready to reveal? 3, 2, 1. Love that. Oh, great. I love that.
Full of talents, this one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We've got 2 more questions. Okay. Who is most
so
likely
cute.
to survive in the world of Hazbin? To survive?
Just generally survive.
Actually, no, we're changing it. Who's most likely to survive? All right.
Yep, they're almost
Just to
asking your
survive, just life. Just life. Okay, are you ready to reveal? Blake, come on. Come on, Blake. You got this. You got this. Okay,
Slow
3,
testing.
2, 1, let's go.
I'm gonna survive. I watched a lot of Alone.
Heck yeah, alone.
Confidence in yourself. Blake, you need more confidence. Okay, now the last question. Who is the funniest? Ooh, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. Who is the funniest? All right. Oh, Blake's very sweet. Okay. They're all being very nice here. Are you ready to reveal? 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Oh, all of us. Me too. All the bros. And Amir is so humble. So humble.
I said,
Amir.
fuck y'all. Hashtag humble, Amir. Hashtag.
And that's the real joke.
Round of applause for this little cast. Now, I like a whiteboard, the type A person.
you guys.
Love that. Oh my
really
God.
That was so cute.
That we shared the space together. We were able to hold space.
We had to hold space for our whiteboard.
I'm glad we could hold space for whiteboards.
I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening.
Okay.
I don't get it. Whatever this is.
That's my favorite part is you had no idea what the fuck.
I genuinely thought Joe was gonna like pull Amir's finger, and I was like, "Is this what's
I was
happening?"
holding my fingernail.
Sorry.
No.
I'm still the
Clearly
windy
already
face
day,
of the
you're
panel. I'm like, what?
Clearly.
Sorry. Oh, it's too late. It's too late. Okay, you guys. We collected some fan questions online. Okay, so I'm gonna read some of these out, and you guys are going to answer. You all right there with your kettle chips?
Snacks.
Great. Okay, so questions from the fans online. This one is from Ellie. What has been your favorite convention experience from the recent appearances attending cons this year? What do you think?
We had a pretty special moment in Sacramento actually, where we did. Was it? Oh, you were there? Yeah, you were there, I guess. Where we did a sing along. For like probably it was 6 or 7 of the songs, and then like Alex wasn't there, so I did Pentious, and then you sang for
Loser Baby.
yeah, you guys did Loser
Which
Baby
took a
together.
whole new meaning.
And Sam played a song that he wrote that didn't make it into the show. And there was we performed the songs here and there, but there was something about that time that we couldn't hear ourselves singing because there was like 300 other people in there screaming the lyrics at us, and it was so powerful.
Really-
And it
really
was,
beautiful.
and this was about like 6 months after the show premiered, and it was a real sort of indication of like, oh, this is such a thing, and it's moved so many people, and we were just like, everyone on stage was crying, like the whole time we were just crying. It was so moving and so special, and there was also something about it that like I think there was a sense in the room that like this might not happen again, and it certainly will never happen like this again, right? Like this was the first one, and so there was a real sort of magic in that moment. Yeah.
What about you guys for like con moments that you remembered?
I'm just always so blown away by the cosplay. Like, these character designs are so batshit crazy. Yeah. And the fact that people pull them off, I'm like, this is real art. It's like, it's so, the dedication to that and the, I mean, I'm like, I really gotta try harder when I dress up, because a cosplayer had built this really beautiful Valentino coat, and they're like, do you want to try it on? And I was like, I must. I felt so powerful. I felt so fabulous. So that's the thing. I've been so blown away.
I think I'll never forget like the very first convention that I did with Amir and Erica. It was down in Birmingham, Alabama.
Alabama. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we just getting done after the first day. I remember actually starting the day, looking out over the convention floor, looking at like where our booths were, and we were like, okay, cool. I guess we're gonna be over there. Do you think anyone's gonna like say hi to us? Like, do you think like I brought a book? And we were like like not sure. And then at the end of the day, literally us after the panel too, being so like raucous and wonderful, and us just like literally laying on the floor of the green room, being like, wow, what is this about to be? Like, it was so wonderful, and just I don't know, that's probably my favorite memory.
Amir, going back to talking about the like singing things live and things like that. You've talked about not the possibility, but the idea that maybe a live version would be quite fun. Do you think that could happen? Like, do you think that because
Well, it could. I mean, yes, of course it could, and I think everybody wants it to happen in some way. But like, there's so many moving parts, you know. Like, and here's the thing, like a live version of this, whether it's a concert or like a Broadway musical, it could be so many things, right? Like, I think it could be brilliant for it to be just the cast and do a live stream in a room with no audience. And it could also be incredible to be at Carnegie fucking Hall, right? So it's like the people in charge have to figure out which one of those they want to do first, especially because the first one is going to be sort of important, right? Like what we did in Sacramento was kind of like a trial, but when we do it for realsies, it's going to be intense.
Can you imagine standing on an actual stage, like in an auditorium or something, like singing that?
Yeah, we'd also just need to rehearse, because I'm like, the thing about voiceover work is that you do it once, and then at least the way that my brain works, once I'm done with something, my brain deletes it. So then to be like, oh, we actually have to like memorize this.
Yeah,
we have to, like, learn our parts for real.
It premiered, we had to like sing.
Yeah.
Like me and Erica had to sing at the premiere, and that was the first time either of us had memorized her song "Happy Day in Hell" and my song "Poison," because when it was in the booth, I was literally just reading the sheet music. I had acclimated myself like over the last 2 days to the music, but then I was using the sheet music as reference, and then I recorded it, and then I was done. And then,
it is so crazy to imagine that you had Poison for, is that true, 2 days?
Just about.
And now it has a bazillion streams. And to think, like, you didn't practice Poison. You didn't spend time with Poison. You got it, and 2 days later you recorded it, and now it's a fucking phenomenon. Like, it's so wild. It's so wild.
Okay, you think about like, obviously I'm not a session musician. Those guys are like actually like fucking talented. But you think about like guitarists or drummers that are session drummers or session guitarists, and they're like, yeah, okay, we gotta pull you into the stew to like work on this guy's album, and like he hasn't, session musicians haven't taken a look at anything until the day they get there, and then they're on like platinum albums. You know what I mean? I am not that. But at the same time, that was the headspace. I was like, okay, look, like I could be very nervous about the lack of time and preparation that I had for this, but I have to trust myself that you don't have to spend so much time digesting something in order for it to be good. Like the Egg Boys are like a huge example of that for me, because I went in, I knew I was Angel Dust, and then I saw like, oh, we're also doing these things called the Egg Boys. Like, what is that, Viv? And she was like, these little guys, and she was like, yeah, do you have a voice you could do for them? I was like, well, how about like something like this? Because they're little. And she was like, no. And she was like, maybe something deeper. And I was like, well, how about this? And I was so nervous about that because I just like did put it on the spot. I didn't take any time with it. I was like, well, people won't like it because I didn't sit with it for 5 months like I do, theater, and we rehearse. But, it ended up working out. So it just goes to show you, like, sometimes you really don't need the amount of time, that you think you do. And in fact, it might hold you back more than you would otherwise.
When I play guitar and I've recorded, and there's something very different about singing and playing music privately in your room, I suppose, like in the booth and doing those things, and then doing it in front of it. I find it, I don't mind sitting on a stage like this, but oh my God, singing and playing guitar on stage, completely different. It's a bit more raw. It's like, they can see my heart, man. Did you feel like that when you were performing live? Like, did it feel like, okay, right, this is a different...
At the sing-along?
Yes.
Very much so, yeah. And I mean, I've as somebody who's also had to perform, like, playing guitar and singing at the same time, multitasking, not fucking easy. Oh my God. I have never gotten as nervous for anything as, like, playing my music in front of people. It is, you're bearing your heart. I mean, the one thing I guess we had in this scenario that was, like, kind of easier is the fact that we're singing like Sam and Andrew's like words, But yeah, were you guys nervous for singing in front of people?
I wasn't. I just partly because I had so little, and secondly because I was just like doing Serpentious, which was just like 6 funny lines. And that was like it. Like so more so, I was just really excited to see what everyone else was going to do, especially you.
Oh, guys. Okay, so this is from Atomic Sonic. This is a season 2 question. When is season 2 going to be out? And have they started recording for season 3?
So we have recorded season 2, and in May, Vivian did an interview where she said it's going to be at least a year. So that was in May. So take that for what you will. And when someone says at least a year, I rarely think 366 days. Probably gonna be a little more than a year, right? Yeah. And we have not started on season 3 yet.
I know they're writing season 3.
I actually think they wrote season 3.
Are they done?
I think so.
Okay.
You heard it here first. Okay, I know you can't say anything about season 2, so I will not dig in. But can you say one word? Just say like a word, an adjective, something that you might think will tantalize the audience.
Mania.
Okay, mania. All right, Blake says mania. You guys?
Complicated.
Sad.
I knew you were gonna do that, Amir.
I can't wait. Okay, this one is from Megatron Drinking.
Megatron drinking?
Drinking.
Oh.
Megatron.
Sorry, Megatron.
Honestly, a wasted Megatron.
Honestly, I just pictured him in a bar like the Where's the Allspark?
I'm so goddamn fed up of trying to find the All-Spark.
Optimus. Get the fuck out.
I want to watch that. Okay.
Crazy concept. Airplanes fighting semi-trucks.
But,
They
awesome.
and sometimes they self-care with alcohol, and it's a problem.
Let's talk
Community, actually.
we don't talk enough about Transformers' mental health.
We don't.
We're just... And that is for the next
What was the
panel.
question?
We've
What was,
derailed
what was
again.
Megatron's question?
Megatron Trinkin says, did you always want to be an actor? Who were your icons when you were little? Okay, so each one of you, did you always want to be an actor? Who did you look up to, I suppose?
I didn't. I
You were going to go into medicine.
I was a chemistry major in college. I was pre-med. I was pre-med for 2 years, and I was depressed. And I had depression. And then I discovered musical theater, and I was like, I like being at rehearsal more than I like chemistry problem sets. I should rethink my life.
Yeah.
But I think when I did decide to be like, I actually want to pursue a career as an actor, and I realized that one of the reasons why I loved that so much was that as a kid, I was really obsessed with Mrs. Doubtfire.
Woo!
The very first scene of Mrs. Doubtfire is Robin Williams as a voice actor dubbing a cartoon. And I remember being like, that's so cool, that's a job, somebody does that? So I've always, Robin Williams, R.I.P. is someone that I've always like, who I've tried to emulate in his career. Because I love that he's a comedian, but also beautiful dramatic work. And so yeah.
Okay, what about you? So you guys got to top that beautiful answer. Blake or Amir?
I think, you know, in my heart of hearts, yeah, I always wanted to be an actor. Anytime my parents would put a camera on me, I'd be acting a fool, like absolute fool. And so I think when I was a kid, the want to act and the want to perform came out of a want for like attention, definitely. But then I fell hard into Lord of the Rings, and
Would you say you were a hoe for the Lord of the Rings?
I was such a hoe for Lord of the Rings.
Were you a Bilbo hoe?
Legolas?
I fell hard into Lord of the Rings, and I just like really loved everything about Viggo Mortensen, and he became like a bit of a hyperfixation for me from an acting standpoint of like all, you know, Lord of the Rings had such like extensive behind the scenes footage, and I remember that being the first time that like I was like watching these actors like on set doing the job, not just watching the product of the job, and being absolutely fascinated by that, and also so struck by just like Viggo's like disposition and the way that he approached his work, and it all just seemed very interesting to me. And I think that was the first time, one of the first theater auditions I went in for, which was for like fucking Sound of Music, and I wanted to take in like, you know, sorry, I'm literally just remembering this now. I wanted to take in, you know, like the monologue that Aragorn has, like, a day of shattered shields when the men, you know, men fail and everything, and like, but that is not this day. I wanted to bring that into a Sound of Music audition, to audition for it, and my mom was like, yeah, I don't get why you would do that. I was like, okay, I'll choose something else. But like, I loved it. So yeah, that's my answer. Like Viggo Mortensen.
I'd like to hear that monologue sung. Like that would be incredible, so incredible.
There is a Lord of the Rings musical.
There is.
Yes, there is.
Starring Blake Roman. You heard it here first. Folks, you heard it here first.
Amir, what about you?
Yeah, I definitely always wanted to. I didn't know that I could, and I had, you know, backup plan upon backup plan. But the one that really stuck for me was Eddie Murphy, because he was such a talented comedic actor, but also in his stand-up. I remember I was like 13 watching, like Raw and what was the other one? Delirious. Yes, Delirious. I remember the sense of power that he had. He had such command, and to do this 90-minute stand-up special, I was like, wow, he is just on stage and in control. And it was so impressive, and I always sort of aspired to that.
when I was Joel, when you were again, I was watching this interview where you were talking more about going into medicine, and you know, I think there's a lot of people out there, and I think maybe met a few that don't follow their dreams and don't do that. And I came very late into things as well. I was told at school, my careers advisor said, so what are your talents? I play guitar and I like to draw. She went, have you thought about law? No, like, and here I am. Like, I made it, mom and dad.
I did it.
What was that?
I did it. You did it.
I did, well, it remains to be seen.
You're doing it.
We'll see if I'm living in a box under the freeway next year.
Oh, gosh.
But I think it pays to follow your dreams. What would you say, all three of you, to those out there that are a little bit scared or have been told things like, you should maybe go and work in an office or do something normal? What would you say to those folks to encourage them?
The first thing I'd say is it's incredible that we're all even here. You know what I mean? And get to experience life, whatever it is. And I mean, in the face of, I get really existential about it really quickly. Literally just ask these guys, like they've experienced that a lot from me. But I don't know, I think in the face of like just such overwhelming uncertainty and unanswered questions, not even just on like a societal level, but on like a cosmic level, why wouldn't you spend your life trying to seek out joy and what brings you love and what fills you with excitement, you know? And whether you follow a dream that leads to a juncture where then another decision takes place and you have a new avenue that you choose, you know, I mean, I think the most important thing is just to commit hard to a direction, see where it leads you, understand that there will be choices in the future, but just like following your own internal compass of joy, you know? I feel like we always talk about like follow your dreams, and I definitely was somebody, and still am, somebody where I'm not really sure what like my dream is, you know? And I also know that if I make some specific external goal to achieve at some point in the future, that when I do, I meet that goal, life will continue, you know? And I'll have to figure out something after that. So I don't know, using joy as like a compass instead just makes more sense to me. I hope I didn't get too lost in the sauce with that.
Like I could not agree more. I think that's perfectly stated. And if I can like just add on to that, like, yeah, like if you spend your life doing things that bring you joy, it's when you say like, I want to be a voice actor because I want to make this much money, or I want to be on Hazbin Hotel. Those kind of specific goals can actually drive you crazy. But if you're like, I like doing voices, I like collaborating with writers and musicians, that's something you can do today. And you can live in that as opposed, and so like, yeah, when Blake talks about a dream, this thing that's way down the road, working towards that can be really fucking hard, and the odds are stacked against you. But what's not stacked against you is a microphone in your bedroom and a guitar in your hands, right? Like that you have access to today. And if that brings you joy, do it. Make yourself happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
I'll add that, like, in addition to the joy, at least be realistic about what success means for you, because success can mean many things to different people. For me, I was always as a person who didn't come from a family that could support me financially, I had to just be a working actor. If I got jobs that paid me money, that allowed me to have an apartment in New York and keep auditioning, and like that for me was cool. I'm working, I'm doing the work. And so if my initial thing was like, I moved to New York and I have to be on Broadway,
it might happen for you. Some people move to the city right away, they get the job, boom, great. Most people it doesn't happen, but if your focus is just like, I just want to be employed in the thing that I want, that I'm passionate about, that will allow you to not feel like everything is a failure. I think you can sort of see that all these little things are successes toward a bigger goal. And being a part of a thing, like, you never know where a relationship will lead you. A job, I'm a part of Hazbin Hotel because I worked with my friend Andrew Butler, who's a composer on stuff off Broadway, who then got hired to write music for Hell of a Boss, who then brought me onto this, and then I met them. You never know. I didn't know that, like, oh, and if I'm friends with Andrew and I work with him, he's gonna get me on Hell of a Boss. And I mean, I haven't. No, I was like, he's a great person. He's a wonderful writer. We can collaborate with each other. Cool. And if that leads to something else, great. But if at least that's just a genuine, real relationship, and that's really what this business is about creating good, real, and genuine relationships. And if something great comes out of it, awesome. If not, at least we're friends. You know.
Love that. That's sweet. Yeah, I've never gone to a networking event. I don't really like going to networking events generally, but I've always got jobs by just being friends with people, and you're like, oh yeah, let's just make a thing. Let's make some weird shit.
That's the thing. It's like people. You're at your best creative level when you're working with people that you feel like you can be vulnerable with, and who better to be vulnerable with than your friends? You know, so it makes sense that when people are like, well, the entertainment industry is just all connections. I mean, yeah, you know.
But the best advice I ever got about networking was, networking is not about hunting. It is about sowing seeds. It's not about like, you're a director, I'm an actor, give me a job. It's like, oh, you're a director, what's your work? Oh, do you have a play coming up? Let me go see it, let me go watch it. Cool, and that way we can connect on a real level about like, hey, I saw your work, I'm a big fan. Because also, that director might be a bad director who you don't want to work with. And that might be someone that, like, actually, I don't think our morals and our tastes align. So that's someone I should actually stay away from. So like, it's not just about like, and I think people can see through that too. It's really easy to be like, why do you, like, you're talking to me just like, I can tell that you literally have no idea who I am. And you actually have no sense of what my work is. And so how are we relating? Because then I can tell that it's not based on like a genuine admiration. It's just like, oh, I want to get something from you.
Nobody likes small talk. Like, does anyone here enjoy small talk? It's the worst. So, what do you do? Yeah, they're back, sorry. But it's the worst. All right, we got to get on to this last fan question. Oh my God, like, I'm reading this really weird. It's rec to media. I almost read that wrong. It's rec to media. Something, I was going to say erect, but hey. Look, it's late, you guys. Rec to media says, do you guys hope to do a theatrical movie? Big old question.
Yes! Yes. Thank you.
I think it's so funny when people are like, do
you want to do your job more?
I remember like, I had a friend from college, her brother came to see me in a play off Broadway in New York, and then we all got drinks after. He's like, yo, so like, you just like doing theater? Like, you don't want to do television? Yes, I want to do television! You think I'm choosing? I'm like, actually, I'd rather not do television. I'm like, well, bitch, I'm auditioning for it. You got a job? Give it for me. Give it to me, yes, please. I would love to do a musical movie. Absolutely, yes.
My dad said, this is real dad chat. Because I've worked for BBC and things before, but like in junkets or whatever, and like
whoa,
small
name drop.
So it's not a big deal in the UK. But
Wait, did you ever watch W1A?
No.
Oh, it's so good. It's about BBC, like people working at the BBC.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry guys.
Sorry. That later. My dad said to me, don't you want to work more with the BBC? I'm like, yes. And then he said, well, Well, just go and hand in your resume. Just go to like, you're here, go and hand in your resume. I was like, yeah, that's how it works, Dad. You just go to the front desk and go, I would like a job. Like, thank you very much. It's like, of course, like, it's not that easy. But what about you guys? If you want, we're going to be in a theatrical movie. Is there a director or actors you'd specifically kind of want to work with?
I will say I was in Tick Tick Boom on Netflix. Watch it, directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Don't blink, because you might miss me.
That's a great
But I'm
movie. You
there.
guys should see it. I didn't
I am
know
there.
it. That's awesome.
What about you guys? Directors or actors you'd love to work with?
I don't know. I genuinely have never thought about this. What I'm jumping to right now is like everybody's been saying how good the Wicked movie is.
Yes.
I want to be in a movie that's directed by the Daniels. They did Everything Everywhere All at Once. And if they did a musical, like, that would be dope. I don't know what it would be.
Just everyone singing
But
all
just-
at once.
It would be a trip, and I'm like, sign me up.
Like, here's the thing.
Yes.
What I feel about like any like live action movie, like or musical or anything, like I just feel like they would only be successful if it really tried not to be like the animated version of it, because it could never do that. Like I feel like it would have to be such a different spin on it and to like exist in its own regard. Because I don't know.
Wait, what? What movie?
A movie of Hazbin Hotel, like a musical.
Oh,
movie.
you mean specifically Hazbin?
No.
Oh, no, you're
Oh!
saying in general.
No, yeah, it was a surprising question. The question is, do you want to do a movie, and what kind of movie?
I want to do a movie,
I
and
would
I
like
want
to
to
do a
be.
movie.
I
I
want to
would
fight
like to
bad
do a movie.
guys.
I would like to be in a movie.
I want to have a love interest. I want to be a Jedi. That was the other thing. Like, when I was growing up, I always wanted to be. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you should be. Yeah, I mean,
You should
Why
be a
don't-
Jedi.
why don't you- why
What,
don't
do you
you
not?
be a
Do you
Jedi?
know? So you just want to do theater? Or you don't want to be a
you
Jedi?
should be doing it.
You should tweet George Lucas.
Hey, and
Tell him.
you know what? I'll probably see him in one of these things. I'll just give him my resume. You know?
Nice.
Just hand it in to George.
Yeah.
My dad has got great
Wait, Hayden
advice.
Christensen is here.
Okay, guys, I'll see you later.
Hayden, bruh.
Hook me up, man.
Amir,
I really love the ASL interpreter going, hook me up, bro. Hook me up. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Hook me up, bro.
Let's give it a hand.
can you do humanoid SpongeBob? What's humanoid SpongeBob? That's okay. Thank you.
There it is.
God damn it. Guys, you have been absolutely wonderful. Haven't they? They've been great. You guys.
So nice.
Love it.
You've been great. Oh, yeah.
Can we just give it up for the Blazer? Good. Good.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You guys, you're here all weekend, is that correct?
That's true.
Correct.
Yes, and people can come up and ask you questions and chat.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Please,
Absolutely.
We're going to our tables right now.
Are you now?
What time?
Okay. So, if you want to go grab them tonight or this weekend, not physically, but just, please go and say hello to this lovely trio of actors, the lovely Blake, Joelle, and Amir. Give it up, round of applause!
Bros weekend.
Yeah, bros, weekend.
This is a bro weekend.
Hazbin bros. Hazbin bros.
Hazbin bros.
Has bros. Hashtag has bros. Y'all are really dumb.